notes, Hasty?
Yeah, you know what? Hard-fought win. You knew Ferris would come back with a push, and they did. And, that was a lot tighter game. I liked our resiliency through two periods. I mean, not a lot of easy ice out there tonight, and I think the first power play was halfway through the third period. And so there weren't a lot of special teams, and it was hard to get to their net. And I think one guy that sticks out in my mind, other than the guys that score goals, was Matthias tonight. I thought he was, tonight was the heaviest workload that he's had since he's been here. And I thought he stood real tall, did a great job, controlled rebounds, and made a couple that he shouldn't have, which allowed us to build on a lead. So it was a really big win for us tonight.
Let me ask you about Jared Spooner. First of all, he's been able to score, but he's also played with a lot of ruggedness, and maybe if you can talk a little bit about his second goal, because he kind of does both on that. He checks the guy off the puck, gets the puck, and scores. You don't see that play that often. It seems like it's kind of a unique one.
You know what? I just mentioned it to him in the locker room in front of the guys. I thought this weekend was his best weekend as a Maverick since he's been here. Real complete. Good on the face-off circle. I thought he played a real heavy game. We talked about trying to possess the puck a little bit more in the offensive zone, because I thought we were creating a lot of their offense. And if you think of the goal that they ended up having to get it to 2-1, turnover at the blue line, and they turn around and we're trying to do a little too much at that time. And so he comes back and establishes. We get it to the back wall. He goes in, separates the defenseman, and then takes it to the net hard, almost a little bit like Nick Rivera's last night, the first goal. And so really proud of Jared and his development and where he's at right now. But I thought this weekend, and especially tonight, he was exceptional.
And you guys had to respond a little bit tonight, and I know you've done that throughout the season, but last night, where you have a pretty significant cushion, tonight, they cut it a couple times, and you mentioned one, and then you get the other one with Max. Can you just kind of talk about that third period a little bit and what worked well there?
Well, again, our puck management wasn't great. And again, I think their second one, we have a puck on our stick coming back into our end, and we throw it up a wall. Their defenseman grabs it, they come in, transition, throw it back door, and so, it went from our stick to their stick to a teammate, and it goes in the back of the net. And so contributed a little bit there, but, Josh French, a little bit of an unsung hero. He drives wide and, creates the power play opportunity. And then that group went in and executed, and we've talked about important times, and special teams, I think, separated us tonight because they get two power plays late, they don't score. Our power play cashes in, and it allows us to get it to four, and then to get to the empty netter.
Two things, Hasty, based on what you just said there. Your fourth line there, you mentioned French, but McMahon and Josh they had a great scoring opportunity near the end of the game. It was a little bit unfortunate they weren't able to convert. And then how much was discipline a point of emphasis? You talked a little bit about the first power play of the game. There's only two power plays in the game. We scored on our one power play opportunity. Was there two or three? Two, I think, yeah. A little bit unusual. So relative to point of emphasis, you knew that Ferris was probably going to respond tonight a little bit differently based on what happened last night. So maybe a little bit on the fourth line and their play tonight, and then on the point of emphasis relative to discipline for our guys.
They weren't going to call anything either way. They didn't. I think it was they were going to let both teams go out and play. And so you have to adjust to that. And, I thought we did a pretty decent job of that. But to mention the two guys that you did with McMahon and French, one of the reasons we put the group together with Dallas Girads is I think that they're very responsible. They've got a unique combination of heaviness with McMahon at close to 200 pounds. French is about 175, but he can really skate. And then you got Dallas, who's a little bit of a tweener there. And I feel comfortable putting him out against anybody. And what started 10 and 26, have done such a good job for us this weekend at going out and winning faceoffs on the penalty kill and getting us clears. So they're not, and that's what Shane McMahon did. And the first guy that grabbed me at the end of, or after I talked to the guys a little bit, he just said, "Hey, coach, what were the faceoffs tonight? I need to know." He takes a lot of pride in that. And again, they get 2 power plays, and our penalty killers do their job. So, to me, I really like that you're recognizing that group because they deserved it.
I asked you about Spooner before, but really that whole line, it seemed like, from the first period on, I mean, they had several scoring chances in the first period too. What were they able to do as a group to kind of take advantage of maybe their matchup tonight?
I thought they're just real honest, and what I mean by that is, they were okay going and earning their opportunities, going down and possessing pucks down low, using each other. The first goal, goes from one dot to another dot behind the net to Spooner out front. He finishes. Julian Napravniak just continues to make plays, and he's still learning the rest of the game. But you know what? He's got a lot of want to. You love coaching guys like that aren't afraid to go out and try and create. And he's the one that turned it over. But I think you've got to make mistakes to learn in this game, and put him right back out there and let him go out and continue to learn. And I thought that line was by far our best line tonight, offensively, defensively. I thought they were exceptional.
Okay, thanks, Hasty.
You bet.